Good day. We are here to present you the psychological foundations of curriculum development. Psychology. Psychology derived from the Greek words psyche, which means soul. It is a discipline devoted to the study of behavior, mind, and thought. Also, it deals with the study of mental process that determines a person's behavior and thinking. It also provides understanding how students learn and understand the body of knowledge. So here are the learning theories and curriculum. First is the behaviorism. Behaviorism claimed and proved that behavior can be modified by changing the environment. In other words, a learner responds differently to different stimulus. Accordingly, it suggested intentionally provide a stimulus to create desirable response. Behaviorist psychologists. One of them is John B. Watson, the founder of behaviorism. John B. Watson was born on January 9, 1878 and grew up in South Carolina. Watson believed that psychology should primarily be scientific observable behavior. He is also known for the Little Albert's experiment, in which demonstrated that a child could be conditioned to a fear of previously neutral stimulus. Next is Ivan Pavlov, father of behaviorism. He was a Russian psychologist that won the Nobel Prize in Sociology in 1904. His classical conditioning is a learning process that occurs through associations between an environmental stimulus and a naturally occurring stimulus. From his perspective, learning begins with the stimulus-response connection. Next is Edward Thorndike, father of educational psychology, law of effect, behavior modification. He was an American psychologist who spent nearly his entire career at Teachers College, Columbia University. His work on comparative psychology and the learning process led to the theory of communicationism and helped the scientific foundation for educational psychology. Last for the behaviorist psychologist is B.F. Skinner, most influential psychologist of the 20th century. Boris Frederick Skinner was born and raised in the small town of Susquehanna, Pennsylvania. He developed what he referred to as an operant conditioning apparatus, which later became known as Skinner bats. Using this device, he found that behavior did not depend on the preceding stimulus as Watson and Pavlov maintained. By that, behaviorism suggests that all behavior can be explained by environmental causes rather than by internal causes. Behaviorism is focused on observable behavior. Theories of learning, including classical conditioning and operant conditioning, were focus of a great deal of research. Second is cognitivism. Cognitivism studies mental processes including how people think, perceive, remember, and learn. As part of the larger field of cognitive science, this branch of psychology is related to other disciplines including neuroscience, philosophy, and linguistics.
This time, I'm going to tackle about the cognitivism psychologists. The first one psychologist is Jean Piaget. He is known as genetic epistemologist and a Swiss psychologist. He is most famously known for his theory of cognitive development that look at how children develop intellectually throughout the course of childhood. Piaget gave following states of cognitive development from birth to maturity. The first one stage is sensory-motor stage, which is the lifespan of it is 0 to 2 years of age. And the second one is the pre-operational stage, which is the lifespan of it is 2 to 7 years of age. The third one is concrete operational stage, from the span of 7 years old to 11 years of age. And the fourth one is formal operational stage, which is the lifespan of it is 11 years of age and onwards. The second cognitivism psychologist is Maria Montessori. She is an Italian physician that founded the psychiatric clinic at the University of Rome, thought that difficult children to read at a normal level. She recognized as one of the pioneers in the development of early childhood education. She is also credited with promoting a substantial number of important educational reforms that have worked their way over the course of the 20th century into the mainstream of education. The third cognitivism psychologist is Lev Vygotsky. He is a Soviet psychologist. He was a Russian psychologist widely known for his theory on socio-cultural development. He believes that culture requires skilled tools such as language, art, and counting system. Further, his theory on zone of proximal development is about the distance between a student's performance with help and performance independently. Learning significantly occurs in this zone. The third psychological foundation is humanism. Humanism, or humanistic psychology, has been taken as a third force learning theory by many observers. Humanistic approach suggests that our behavior is dependent on our concept of ourselves. Human beings understand the wholeness of the problem and react to it in an organized pattern. Here's the humanistic psychologist. The first one is Carl Rogers. He is the eminent thinker in psychology. He was a humanistic American psychologist who focused in the therapeutic relationship and developed a new method, client-centered therapy. He proposed that classrooms should become learner-centered and teachers should facilitate learning. With self-concept, this self emerged from individual experiences with the world. The second humanistic psychologist is Abraham Maslow. He is the founder of humanistic psychology. He is also the American psychologist who developed a hierarchy of needs to explain human motivation. During the 1950s, Maslow became one of the founders driving forces behind the school of thought known as humanistic psychology. Here's the Maslow's theory. First is physiological needs. The second is safety needs, love and belonging needs, esteem need, self-actualization needs, and the last one is knowing and understanding. Thank you.